I'm Ryan Fox, Developer Relations at Algorand, and this is a really exciting afternoon that we're going to have here on the Tech Talk stage. We're going to kick it off with with a pitch competition. All right, so we've got, I believe there's like 10 different groups that are coming up to give pitches. So with that, I want to welcome to the stage my colleague Joanna Moran to come on up and MC this part of it. Welcome, Joanna.
Thank you, Ryan. Thanks a million. Okay, so I'm so excited about this pitch competition. So first of all, welcome to the Developer Greenhouse Pitch Competition. I'm head of Developer Programs for the Algorand Foundation. My amazing colleague here, Dave Greeny, beside me is a Developer Program Lead. And I just want to, I guess, kind of tell you that this is not just a pitch competition that happened like out of the blue. This is picking up developers that have engaged with us through all of our hackathons throughout the year. So whether that was through our Developer Greenhouse hackathons, through Algorand, ENCODE programs, Reach, EasyA or Wormhole Activate, and Angel Hack through Tribe. So there's just been so much work going into it. And we did the semi-final yesterday, and we got down to the final 11, which we're really excited about. So just to let you know that they have been on a journey, and please give them like a really warm and like clap with them and cheer and really support them. Dave, you're going to do a quick pitch. So the format.
For sure. Thank you, Joe. Welcome everyone. I would just like to speak to the participants more so than the audience, and to explain to them that we are operating on a strict 3-minute pitch time limit, okay? So at 3 minutes, we'll be cutting you off. I'll give you a 30-second warning that will sound something like this. After which you'll have 30 seconds. I'll give you a hard stop at 3 minutes. And then we'll have 2 minutes of questions and answers from the judges. We have 4 lovely judges here sitting at the front, ready to pepper our participants with questions.
So these projects are pitching to the accelerators in the Algorand ecosystem. So we have Michael Hoffweller. You want to raise your hand, Michael? Is from AXL Accelerator, and you are ending your applications in January. Is that correct? Yes. So any budding startups in the room that want to apply for the AXL Accelerator, you have till January. This guy over here. We have Lorenzo. Amazing, from the Rocker, Miami Accelerator. All the startups love Lorenzo. Sorry, not that there's favorites. So that's Lorenzo. Then we have Asim from Eterna Capital, and they just announced their cohort yesterday. So go online and check out the projects. And we have our new head of developer outreach, Jack Chan. You want to wave, say hi? Okay, so we're going to kick it off with our first project, is Chessbox, excuse me. They were a Greenhouse Hack 1 winner, so that's where they came from. So please give a really warm welcome to Carlos.
Best of luck, everyone. Thank you.
Hello. Yes, today I will talk about Chessbox, an easy way to manage Web3 games assets on Algorand blockchain. So, the games industry global market size is about $200 billion. And basically it's increasing, and we can have a great relationship with Web3, metaverse, and games for the next years. And that's the Chessbox, a platform that won the Algorand Green Hack Hackathon. And I am looking forward to push this project for the next level. So here's the platform, and basically integrate an asset system in a blockchain can be difficult and can be expensive. It can be because it requires knowledge, know-how. So basically, Chessbox makes everything easy because it brings the complexity to the integration complexity to the platform, and the game developers don't need to worry about coding and this kind of stuff. So Chessbox, basically the game developer can use the Chessbox platform and UI and create assets and integrate with games easily using the Chessbox SDK. So here is the business model of Chessbox. Basically, it's a SaaS, a software as a service. So we can have different plans for different business size. And yeah, currently Chessbox is a single-member project, but I'm looking forward to have a SDK developer and also a product developer as well. So why blockchain, why Algorand, and why now? Yeah, many players are very loyal to the games, and they enjoy having collectibles and ownership of the assets. So blockchain and NFTs are great for this. And Algorand is fast and has an on-chain standard asset. So basically, on-chain asset. So basically, it's so great for that. And the games industry it's growing, and it's a great moment for build a product like that. So next steps is develop SDKs for other languages, implement the SaaS business, and implement different types of assets. Games plus Algorand, it's equal Chessbox.
Finish it off with a mathematical equation. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Going to throw this open to our judges if you have questions, please.
So you mentioned you're looking for a couple of developers to complete the team. Can you also tell us what other needs besides development do you have right now, like business or financials or?
No, so far that project was built on the Gitcoin hackathon on Algorand Greenhouse, so I built everything so far, but yeah, I'm looking to have partners on this project and push this project to the next level.
So, quick question. What inspired you to build Chessbox?
Sorry?
What inspired you to build Chessbox?
What?
Inspired. Like
Yeah, that's a
inspiration.
great question, because I was trying to build a 2D game, and basically it was so difficult to implement the game and focus on the Algorand itself on the blockchain. So basically, I think it's a great product because small business like indie game developers can focus on gaming and not integrating on Algorand. So it's a straightforward path to integrate Algorand in a game.
Hi there. Who's your key customer? How do you know when you've reached product market fit?
Yeah, you mean who is my main customer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the main customer should be the indie game developers. Like they have low budget and they need a platform straightforward to integrate with Algorand because it's so expensive to have a team dedicated to build the blockchain side of a game. The indie game developers are focused on completely build the core of the game.
Can you talk about your go-to-market strategy?
Sorry?
Your go-to-market strategy.
Yeah, my growth market strategy is basically focus on create a great relationship with the indie game developers and create a strong community in the environment of indie game developers and starting building games on web and later on, who knows, implement create a relationship with big players. But for now, the indie game would be a great fit for that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Round of applause.
Thank you, Carlos. Okay, so next up we have Contrato with Smriti. Contrato is contract to code solution on blockchain. So,
Quick tech briefing here.
welcome. Please give her a big round of applause.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Smriti Chaudhary, and I'm building Contrato, the world's first contract to code solution on blockchain. The reason why we are building Contrato is to bridge the gap from paper to digital to smart contracts. Now, when we started, we realized that the World Bank data said that small and medium businesses world over is represented by almost 90%. So that is when we thought that we should help solve the problems that the small, medium businesses face regarding their contracts, invoicing, and the payments. We want to start with India, which is home to 63 million small, medium business users. So the first version of Contrato that we built is an integrated solution with eKYCs, e-signatures, and notarizations. And what you see here is a live snapshot of the product that we have built. The first dashboard is a complete overview of all the documents, the contracts, the actions, the reminders. The second one that you see is a document vault, which has the contracts, the documents, the notarizations. The third is a CRM, which is the business contact network, and we can initiate the smart contracts from this point. The last one, the transfers, is the financial transaction statements that involves the one-to-one transactions and all the activities under the contracts. So to summarize, what we have done is we have brought together all the business elements inside our relationship and built Contrato in a single window, providing all the services which was not available before to the small, medium business users. It is a complete SaaS business model, and we also want to build a blockchain, the smart contract, and DeFi on a commission basis, use it like a marketplace. So talking about why Web3, COVID has accelerated the process of digitization and moved people away from their traditional comfort zones. And thus, this is requiring so much of extra security, and there also has to be an ability to verify the documents from anywhere in the world. So we feel that Algorand, which has a very unique two-tiered structure, the base layer, which actually supports security and scalability for smart contract usage, and also because Algorand has a unique fusion of ability of fusing the traditional finance and DeFi to bring about a complete decentralization. This is going to actually help us at Contrato, and this is the reason we feel that it's a perfect fit for our use case.
Okay, I'm going to have to stop you there. Time is up. Thank you very much. We might start in reverse order with our judges' questions, if we have one, please.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Thank you. Could you talk a bit about your team, who's in it, and their roles?
Yes, I'm Smriti Chaudhary, and I have done my MDP Master's Development Program from IIM Lucknow, and I worked for 6+ years at Tata Motors, a very reputed organization in India. And my technology lead is Satya Prakash Verma. He is a young, very energetic, and a very fast learner. We have a great team of mentors, Mr. Vikram Pandya, who is an expert in fintech and blockchain domain based out of Mumbai. We also have Prasanna Lohar. He is the CEO of Blockstack, and he is also advising us. So we think we have a great team to take it on.
Hi. Can you go into your SME segment a little bit more? Can you be more specific about which kinds of customers are going to need this tool or this product?
The SME, the segment we want to target?
Yes.
Yes, that's wonderful. We actually have been awarded several times, and one of the organizations that awarded us was the NPCI, National Payments Corporation of India. We want to use that as a GTM strategy and go to the 10 banks which are already onboarded by NPCI and help them onboard their merchants and vendors. And we do know that the UPI is a huge success story in India, supported by the government of India. So we think this is a fantastic GTM strategy for us.
Why? Hi. Why can't this just be built on Web 2?
Why not Web 2?
Yeah, why can't it just be built on Web 2? Why do we need a blockchain?
Yes, we do. We already have built in the Web 2, but we want to scale it up by providing a very secure and a trustworthy network to our users. So that is the reason we want to build it, do a transition from Web 2 to the Web 3. And also, since we want to actually take care of all the financial transactions coming under the contracts, so the DeFi aspect will actually help, the small and medium businesses which actually are suffering today. They have a huge loss. That is where we want to actually help solve the entire problem.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Contrado. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Well done.
Thank you. Okay, so everyone who's just joined, welcome to the Build Pitch Competition, where we're finding the next wave of builders on Algorand. We have Wise pitching now, which is Saurav. Wise is tokenization as a service. This project came to us from the Algorand endeavors, so please give them a big warm welcome.
Right, good. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Saurav, and I'm going to talk about Wise, which is my solution. And this is just briefly talking about myself. While I'm building Wise, I'm also an astronaut at Algorand, right? This is my LinkedIn profile. If you go in there, you'll see that. And by looking at this, you know what is absolutely wrong with everything that is happening with social media today and the Web 2 world. So what are we solving for, actually? Trust. Everything that we are doing at Algorand, everything we are doing it with blockchain is to solve for trust and look for those green signs. That is when things move. That is when entities trust each other. That is when we get into business, right? But if businesses have to come to Web3, they have a lot of challenges. It's a stack, which is complex. Infrastructure is difficult to manage, and they lose time. So we build Wise. So Wise is a tokenization as a service solution using NFTs. Why NFTs? Right? Because you cannot push data into a blockchain transaction. That is where we take blockchain, we put the data into the NFTs, and that is what starts to make sense for businesses who need data assurance first. They need availability 24/7, and they need a backend CRM or ERP integration. When we solve these things, many more use cases become live. The way we actually do it is by allowing predefined templates. So you can issue soul-bound tokens for academic certificates. You can do NFT ticketing, POAPs. You can do awards, membership tokens, even work credentials for gig economy, right? And all of that by just selecting your options on the dashboard, and you don't have to worry about anything else. We have taken away all those challenges. Using this, you can launch your token in about 60 seconds flat. That's our promise to you. Where we are doing this, where we are using this, education, we have already live projects working on this. Events, conferences, and ticketing. There is a Filecoin Bangalore event happening today where we have issued over 2,000 tickets, and about 600 people already checked in today using our workflows. That's actually happening today, and that is an example of how we further simplified. You don't have to worry about wallets, addresses. You scan a QR code, and you can get into an event. And the promise we are saying is NFT inside. If you remember it, this goes back to the fact that when microprocessors, computer chips came, Intel inside was the slogan. People remembered, they believed, they had the trust, and that is why we want to bring the trust back to blockchain and Web3. Work credentials, not for people like you and me, but for the gig economy. They are financially marginalized because they cannot prove their work history, and this is a very good tool to help them do that. These are some examples. And finally, some of our new projects are in healthcare, personalization of medicine, and real estate tokenization in India, which is going to be one of the biggest differentiators. And this is where Algorand, out of the box, provides tokenization and fractionalization of NFTs, right? So this is how I'll skip that. End of the day, we want to get to this, where you have a NFT-based profile of the user. These are some of our achievements. And actually, we want to introduce the form factor. You use credit cards for making financial transactions. We will allow using cards to exchange data. And with that data, you can have a DeFi protocol sitting in back where everyone in the ecosystem gets rewarded on who's asked for the data, who's created the data, and who owns the data.
Thank you very much, Saurav. I'm going to have to stop you there, and I'll start where we left off in terms of questions. Thank you.
So what are you looking for as far as support, specifically from an accelerator, and taking into account that usually, accelerators last for like 3 months. So what can you accomplish in 3 months as far as traction?
Right. So that's a great question, because as a startup, for people and businesses to believe in what we can do and what Web3 can do, it's a lot of challenges. But if we get an accelerator, we get Algorand, it gives them the trust factor that we can actually deliver this, and Web3 is something which businesses can trust. With all the noise that has happened in crypto, we get a lot of challenges, and our sales cycles are much more difficult. To convince a user to come onto this, it takes much longer. If we have an accelerator, we say, yes, this is a startup, they're working good, they're doing a good job, these are the use cases you can do, we can go and deliver much faster. Plus, it will increase our scope to wider customer base and actually help us get more use cases. So those are some of the things which will actually help us.
Just a quick question. You skipped the slide on the team. Can you spend 5 seconds on that?
Right, I can go back. I think. Yes. So as part of the team, I am leading the technology front. 3 years back, I didn't know how to code. Throughout COVID, I learned, I sat, I built. Along with that, I have a small development team of my own. And we have a legal advisor because we work with a lot of companies. In addition, we have various mentors who help us build these bridges within India, within the government regulation as well.
Yeah, I'm going to help you save a few seconds. Well, you started with minting NFT and went to the cards. What was the story behind that?
Right. So NFTs will help you generate the data. You will own the data, but you will need a form factor to exchange and transmit the data. Today, you'll have to go to your computer. You'll have to do something. In future, today, like you can scan a QR code and make a payment. In future, in about 6 months of time, that's what we want to do. You can scan a QR code at a bank, and you can say, I'm applying to a loan application. This is my salary for the last 6 months. This is my home address. This is my everything. Tick, tick, tick. And you exchange the data by scanning a QR code, which is consent-based, using smart contracts on the layer.
Hi, great presentation. What is, or do you know your cost of customer acquisition? And then how does that tie into your revenue model?
Right, so today, our cost of customer acquisition is way through the roof because we have to spend a lot of time in kind of getting there. We have early customers, so I cannot put an exact dollar number, but somewhere in the range of $100 plus each. In terms of revenue model, we are billing them on a per transaction basis, so it's a SaaS model, which helps them get on board faster because first thing is they don't want to buy and then you put a cost. So early use cases that we are building, we're kind of giving them grants, right? So they come on board faster, and that is where we say that we're getting grants from the blockchain companies as well, which we are helping you, promote and build the solutions.
Okay, so I'm going to have to stop you there. Thank you very much, Saurav and Wise.
Thank you, Saurav. The guys are setting up. Are any of the DevRels in the room? Can you all just stand up for me, please? Just stand up, because these there are Ryan's down the back, and there's a whole other team. There's about 7 or 8 more of them. They are the DevRels who were reviewing these projects throughout the year as well, and they're a massive help to me and Dave. So just thanks a million. Okay, so. So next up, we have AlgoPay. We have Abe and Sagar. AlgoPay is a simplified crypto payments platform, and they were an Easy A hack winner. So they came from one of our hacks throughout the year as well. So are you guys set up? Are you ready to go? Perfect.
There you go.
Great. Please give them a warm welcome.
Hello, everybody. My name's Abhay. He's Sagar, and we have one more team member called Teja. So we are a grad student from Northeastern University. Right. So recently, we came up with an idea, like we were finding it so hard to use our crypto money in the real world. Like, what if I want to purchase a product on Amazon? What if I want to purchase a product on Walmart using crypto? Is that possible? Yeah, it is. So we built a prototype around it. So let's see the real demo of it. So let's go. So this is the Amazon website. So we'll use Algorand's crypto to actually buy a product on Amazon. So as soon as you add an item to the cart, and you add your shipping address, our Chrome extension that we have built immediately pops up and asks you to connect your wallet. Which wallet? It's the Para wallet from your mobile app. So let's connect. So in order to connect, we use the QR code model. So a person can use his mobile app to actually scan it. Once it's authenticated, you have access to pay using crypto. So let's make a payment. There you go. It's under processing, and he actually passed it through his mobile. So once it's processed, the Amazon gift card is activated, and the actual product can be bought using crypto. So how did we achieve this? Pretty simple. So this is actually a live order, and it's actually being delivered to India. So it's actually on the main network that we are doing it. So there we go. An order is processed, and it's actually placed. So our main motto of building this is, guys, we don't have to make everything decentralized. There are more powerful websites that are already built. Instead, we can make sure that we build small tools or helper functions that can immediately make the whole product decentralized. Well, that's what we came up with. So this is a simple Chrome extension that we have that the user can install, and they just have to install the Wallet on the app in order to function this. Right. So what's our future scope, right? We have built the prototype. What's our future goals? So our expansion is not just through Amazon. We want to enter the bigger markets like Walmart and other e-commerce systems, and we can also enter Uber and different architectural platforms. So it's the main functionality is to make sure that making crypto payments is as easy as possible. So here we go. This is Algo Pay.
Time to spare. Seeing is believing, ladies and gentlemen. I'll start up this end, please. Thank you. Start down the bottom. Any takers?
What's your go-to-market strategy?
Right. Our main growth marketing strategy would be to build a community for this, mainly and actually to grow this out. So currently, we are planning to make sure this Chrome extension is free for the users so that they can make sure that crypto is easily available and they can easily sell it and then they can easily use it, right? Once we actually grow it to a phase where we have accomplished tying up with different markets like Walmart and Target, and once we have different gift cards available from all the lenders, we are going to actually charge a processing fee, which makes sure there is revenue generated out of this. Well, that is our main growth marketing strategy right now.
And how do you convert the algos into dollars for the payment?
Right.
What's working in the background for that?
Currently, what we are doing is once the algo is processed from a user to us, we'll be using it for trading. We'll not be actually directly contacting Amazon with this. Instead, we'll be buying the products to Amazon through their Amazon gift card APIs. So we use their gift card APIs in actually to buy the product. So user doesn't know that we actually buy it using crypto. It's we who actually do it from the backend.
If I have a credit card and I use Amazon already to make purchases, why would I use this Chrome extension?
Right. So the main goal of actually doing this is to make sure crypto payments are as easy as possible. Like currently in a phase where crypto is so much booming, we all have so much of resources in crypto, but we are not able to use it properly. Right. That's our main motto.
Great presentation, by the way. You mentioned the gift card API. I actually had a question, but you answered it. But for other platforms or e-commerce sites that do not have the resources to build APIs like that, how do you go around it?
Right. So most of the resources that we checked out, like popular websites, they do have gift card vouchers readily available. If the resources aren't available, we have several third-party APIs that we can use to actually generate the gift cards. So through that, we can actually contact the companies to give us gift cards, and then we can actually make the payment.
Yeah, the question is, beyond payments, by the way, that was great. But beyond payments, what's the vision? Or do you think that payments is just big enough and you don't need to go beyond it?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
You're going to take over the payment space, let's say. Do you think that's big enough? Or your plans are eventually to build on top of it?
Right. So currently, the future scope would be to make sure we expand this to a state where it's pretty stable among a lot of users, where we want to scale it to a lot of users. But we are thinking of some additional features that we could do on-chain. It's on the future scope for now.
Thank you very much. Algo Pay, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Abe and Sagar. Thanks. OK, so we're halfway through. I want to give a warm welcome to Kenemo. Morgan Wild will be pitching for this, and Kenemo is the decentralized developer wallet. So please welcome.
Hey, everyone. So my name is Morgan Wild, and I'm the founder of Kinemo, the decentralized developer wallet. And you might ask, why build another wallet? Well, there's two reasons. The technical reason is that currently we still have a lot of problems when it comes to mobile wallets on Algorand. Users, and primarily because Wallet Connect and WebSockets introduce issues to end users that, for example, can't connect to a decentralized app or have their transactions not submitted and they can't show up. But the bigger reason is that the current crop of wallet apps are absorbing the decentralized app experience that are provided by dApps and plugging it all into their walled garden apps. And I want to change that, and I'm going to do that with Kinemo. So how? Well, first up, I'm going to limit the scope, right? So Kinemo has 3 design principles from the user's perspective. One is we're going to keep private keys private. We're going to sign transactions, and I'm going to do those 2 things securely, fast, and accessibly, all right? Let's remind ourselves that the killer app for a wallet is processing transactions. So from a user's perspective, Kinemo will provide and innovate with an accessible way for reading what's inside of a transaction. It will provide an easy way to ask for help confirming what's the contents of a transaction if it's as advertised. And this will add a social layer that's totally lacking from the current crop of apps that are totally isolated from a social perspective. And then finally, it'll provide a seamless transition from and back to the dApp that originated that transaction. And I'm going to focus on the developers as a target demographic number 1. That's good for the ecosystem because a good developer experience yields a good user experience. So these are the design principles from the developer's perspective. Number 1, the decentralized web app will own the user experience, not the wallet. All right? All the heavy lifting will be shifted over to the mobile app, so like translating, packing, hashing, so forth. That will enable a lightweight web client SDK, which Web 2 devs will gladly import. We're not talking about megs here. We're talking about a couple hundred K in terms of the package size. And this will also be allowed by the accessible wallet to web app communication protocol. Now, in terms of onboarding, there's going to be a native iOS app, a JavaScript SDK, and a browser-based game that's going to be a reference project, kind of like an NBA Top Shot. For business model, there's going to be a fee that's extracted from users that are paying for someone to confirm their transaction is valid from the community. So who am I? My name is Morgan. I've been working on Algorand since November of last year. I've been a part of Decentology, worked on developer content and boot camps for Flow. Before crypto, I led a team at K-Health, which is a healthcare startup. And most importantly, I've been a developer mentor since 2018. And yeah, thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Any questions for starters?
So you build it. Is there anybody else on the team, or what are your needs as far as resources?
It's just me. I'm a full stack engineer. I've made progress on JavaScript SDK, and I've made progress on the native app side. I need runway, and eventually, once I've proven out the product more, I need extra devs to help.
What does the next 3 to 5 months look like for your roadmap?
With enough runway, the next 3 to 5 months will yield an iOS app for the wallet side, a JavaScript SDK to go along with it, and maybe an inkling, a start of the browser-based game.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Short and sweet. Thank you very much.
Okay, hi. So everyone that's just joined, welcome to the Developer Greenhouse Build Pitch Competition at Decipher 2022. This is where we're finding our next wave of builders on Algorand. Next up is Blockchain Verified. It's Sahil Malik, and it's Instant Certification Verification. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. It's exciting to be here. So as you can see on the screen right now, we have developed a product called Blockchain Verified. In a developing country like India, it's a huge challenge when it comes to credential verification. Despite the fact that the government has taken a lot of initiative in this direction, we have Digital India. Still, students who are going abroad cannot present their degrees. They have to go through a different route, which is called transcript. Because they do not trust the degrees coming from the student, the university can contact the university. When it comes to the trade finance, the bank guarantee issued in India is done in a digital format in such a way that the verification takes around 3 months and sometimes even 3 weeks. This is the reason why a $2 billion scam recently happened in trade finance, whereas a diamond merchant pulled off a scam worth $2 billion. At the same time, when an employee is joining a new company, the verification of his previous company cannot be done because all the details are coming from the employee and he can easily manipulate that data. So we have built a tamper-proof, time-stamped, digitally signed document which can be verified under 30 seconds. And this is only possible on blockchain. It's low cost. We are only paying for the transaction. Instant verification hardly takes 30 seconds. It's tamper-proof because we are using hashes, and it's privacy-focused because we are not taking any data. We are simply pushing the hashes from which you cannot get the data. Government has taken a lot of initiative in this direction in India, but they are not able to really solve this problem. As you can see on the street, there are a lot of startups building on Polygon as well who have issued caste certificates. We are building something bigger, much bigger on Algorand. Initiatives have been taken by universities. I have graduated from Pune University. They have included Algorand as part of their curriculum now because they know what kind of a great technology Algorand is now. They have conducted a lot of workshops in this direction. So why we need blockchain? I have already covered that part. Apart from that, blockchain is built on hashes and digital signature. Both of them are legally recognized in Indian court of law. So if we are building any solution on that, we can make use of that part as well. Why Algorand? The credibility. The Algorand is working with a lot of educational institutions already. So if we are building a product for students, they are going to accept it. Feasibility, because we are paying only for a transaction fee, we are getting a storage of 1 KB for life. We are bringing the next generation to Algorand because the student has to create a wallet on which he will be receiving his degree. In future, he will be using the same wallet to get the NFTs which he can showcase on Instagram. And in future, probably he'll use the financial products of Algorand because he has the trust as his certificates are there. Market size is very big. We have more than 1.5 million engineers graduating in India. Then there are other disciplines and other sectors as well. So if we are only targeting engineers, we can easily have a market size of around $200 million. We want to go live in the next 5 months. We have already conducted our MVP at this stage. This is the product that we have built. The verification can be done on this page. We can scan a QR code or upload the file.
Okay,
we are a DPIT recognized startup, and the Startup India has recognized our company.
Thank you very much. Okay, questions, please. Whoop, here we go.
Have you spoken to any potential customers about this yet?
Yes. So initially, we are targeting the colleges, the private colleges. We already have 5 colleges where we have conducted the minimum viable product testing. And we are very much confident that the next graduating year, in June, we will be able to make those degrees on Algorand.
What's your revenue model then for these colleges?
That's a great question. So we are charging the student $2. Out of those $2, we are only paying for the transaction fee. That is hardly some pennies. So we are getting a 1 KB storage out of that, right? So 90% of this $2 is actually our profit. And the revenue is that $2 coming from the student.
So your MVP is in about 5 months. So what do you expect to achieve from an accelerator program?
That's a great question. So since we are building on Algorand, and Algorand is already associated with a lot of educational institutions. They have Center of Excellence. Then there are other initiatives as well. So through Accelerator Program, we want to engage with these educational institutions, and we want to showcase this product to them so that the degrees coming out of India can be accepted by these big universities. Once that will happen in India, we can easily able to sell to a lot of institutions and universities.
So the whole blockchain thing seems to probably is going to work, but that's all within the digital space. But what about the analog to the digital bridge? How are you solving the security of that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the universities are already having data in a digitalized format, but when they issue it to the student, they make it on a hard copy. They print it on a hard copy. They store it either on Excel sheet or on a database. We are saying if you're storing the data, but you're not giving it in a digitalized format, give us the data, we'll issue, or we are only calculating the hash and pushing it on Algorand. We are not taking the data, only pushing the hash for verification, and the data is again given back to the university and the student. So we are not touching the data of the student in any way. But the hashes, you can verify it very quickly.
Well, a quick one. This is a classic and pretty much expected application of the blockchain. What about the competitive landscape, and why are you better than other solutions that are out there?
I did not get the question.
The competitive, why are you better than your competitors?
That's a great question. I've been working in blockchain for 5 years now. I have done big projects like peer-to-peer energy trading. What I have realized is in a developing country, Web 2.5 is something that can be adopted today, not Web 3.2. So this is a product where the Web 2.5 will happen, the transition will happen. In future, we will move on to NFTs, we will move on to self-sovereign identities. But by this Web 2.5, go profitable next year itself.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, we are on pitch number 8. This is Jordan Kaufman from Block Reward. So this project was also a winner in our Greenhouse Hack 2 that just finished a couple of weeks ago. Block Reward is decentralized reward system. So please give a warm welcome to Jordan.
Hello, everybody. I am Jordan Kaufman. I am the founder of Block Reward. So what is Block Reward? It is a membership and loyalty system for online and brick-and-mortar retailers. You earn a token on purchases, Block Reward token, or BRT, and that is also then used on our platform to redeem discounts offered by businesses in our ecosystem. So the blockchain application for Block Reward. We are using NFTs as membership. They're going to be upgradable NFTs using ARC19. Block Reward token is earned on purchases. Think of it strictly as a reward point. Having it on the blockchain allows for easy accounting for both the end user and the businesses that are in our ecosystem. We created already a custodial wallet system. This allows for easy onboarding for the average consumer. I currently have 3 retail stores and about 7,000 customers that I'm trying to get on Algorand's blockchain. So the development roadmap, about a year ago, I minted my first NFT membership for my shops. This kind of allowed me to test to see the onboarding process for the average consumer. One of the biggest problems I ran into is they didn't want to download a Para wallet. They wanted to log in with a phone number or email. So then I started selling my membership on an open marketplace. This allowed me to test my concept through Discord. If you had my membership NFT, special discounts were unlocked in the actual Discord, so you could go use it on my e-commerce site. September 2022, we started the actual development of the platform. November 2022, we were lucky enough to win the Gitcoin Hackathon 2 for the customer loyalty app. In my go-to-market plan, like I said, I have 3 retail stores. As soon as I get Stripe Pay integration, my customers will be able to upgrade and buy membership with their credit cards. As soon as that goes, we're going to be beta testing in my stores as well. So the market size, global retail sales are massive, over $21 trillion. Both e-commerce and brick-and-mortar stores have seen significant increase over the past year. My main target is local businesses. I want to build out a business ecosystem where all the end consumers can use the same token to redeem discounts offered by businesses in the ecosystem. So, business model. First, we're going to build the actual ecosystem. We're going to allow 10 to 15 businesses join free, and then we're going to charge a small joiner fee, anywhere from $200 to $500. Businesses in our ecosystem are going to be selling NFTs. We're going to take a 20% cut of that. That is going to go buy Algorand on-chain so we can facilitate the transaction fees so the transaction fee does not fall in the end consumer. Another thing we're going to do is run ads for businesses like featured membership, things like that, anywhere from $300 to $600 a month. So our team, me, Jordan, the first person I had to find was a technical founder, Padram, and we have a full-time software engineer working for us as well. So if I'm ended up getting funding, I'll be able to integrate with Square and build a phone app as well. Thank you so much.
Perfect timing. Bang on 3 minutes. All right, thank you.
So your BRT token, is that something which anybody can buy as a utility token?
No, you can only earn it on purchases. There will be other ways in the future to earn it as well.
Okay, so it's within...
Strictly a reward point.
Okay, so it's closed within the ecosystem. Nobody can speculate on that.
Correct, yes.
Okay, then why do you need blockchain technologies? Isn't it just a simple loyalty, like a credit
Absolutely.
solution between...
So having it on blockchain allows, like I mentioned, easy accounting for both the business to see exactly what rewards are being redeemed. And since blockchain is not able to be changed, it's just the easiest and most efficient way that I found to have a reward system.
But don't businesses get to see that from their loyalty programs already, without the blockchain?
Yes, absolutely. But I do know a few businesses that I have talked to have had people make fake accounts. They have figured out a way to game it, essentially. They can make multiple accounts. And of course that could happen here, but the main thing was having the blockchain component was the easiest ability for accounting for the businesses to see exactly what's going on. Of course that can be done in a Web 2. I just figured that blockchain was going to be easily acceptable in that way. And the main focus of Block Reward is to get the average consumer using blockchain without them really knowing it. So of course the accounting perspective is a Web 2 thing, but the main thing is to get the technology in the hands of the average consumer.
Okay, so there's probably a learning curve to this. I'm just wondering if the advantage of blockchain in this, the marginal advantage is net positive versus the disadvantage of having to have a more complex process from a user perspective.
So it's not a complex onboarding process for the user at all. They create an account with a phone number or email. There's a custodial wallet waiting for the end user. So there's no downloading Coinbase, buying Algorand, then going to ParaWallet, then go into our platform. We have an all-in-one platform for the average consumer to get on blockchain.
How are you going to scale your customer acquisition?
So to start out, I am going to test it out in my stores. I have talked to a few other local businesses that are very interested to join the ecosystem. I am connected to 100 other retail stores through my franchise. I have already talked to the CEO. He is very interested to get this going once I have proven it in my stores.
Very good. Thank you very much, Jordan.
Thank you.
Okay. So pitch number 9 is Algo Helper. It's Artem and Valentine. They are also a Greenhouse Hack 2 winner, which is great. And Algo Helper is the platform for developers who are building in the Algorand ecosystem. So please give them a warm welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I want to introduce you Algo Helper, a non-profit platform for developers in Algorand ecosystem. The main topic of our project is open source and overcoming its daily problems. The first problem is the lack of a sufficient amount of quality open source code, and it's usually very hard to find the original code of smart contracts. The next problem is there is no way to see if the on-chain code matches the off-chain code. And as a result, these problems complicates the lives of developers, especially of new developers. And our solutions are, first of all, creation of a database of high quality proven open source code and a media platform about it. The second solution is to implement our open source verifier to explorers, so people will be able to easily compare on-chain code with off-chain code. And also, they will easily find the original code of smart contracts. The third solution is the expansion of open source code base with our own developments. Like, for example, we have Algorand blockchain approved VRF randomizer. You can check it at this link. And this is how our open source verifier looks like. It supports versioning by different commit hashes. And you can also check it with this link. So what's the problems with code on explorers? Here, for example, you can see only decompiled bytecode, which has more than 15 hundreds of lines. But original code can be in Python or Rich, and these languages are much more compact. So our solution to this problem is to implement a special widget to explorers, so people will be able to easily find the original code of on-chain apps and to compare it to on-chain code. So our vision To summarize, is that the development of open source culture will increase the amount of new developers on Algorand, and combined with open source, our own developments, will lead to more high quality projects and a boost of entire Algorand ecosystem. Before we can go to the market, we need some partnerships, marketing support, and help of some experienced mentors. This is our team, and we strongly believe that development of open source will make Algorand and world better. That's all. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Questions from our judges?
What's your predicted revenue model for this?
Sorry?
How are you going to make money?
Actually, this is an ecosystem project, and we aren't going to make money with this one, but we are going to provide exposure to ecosystem projects like once a week. The best verified open source code will be announced on Twitter to help boost the overall ecosystem and attract more money, but in a very indirect fashion.
So, I mean, this is quite necessary and it's a really nice widget, but what's coming up in the next 6 to 9 months? What do you guys want to work on?
So your question is just like what's going to happen in next 2 months?
6 to 9 months.
6 months. Oh, it's a big time frame. I guess we are going, first of all, we are going to pass an ARC standard on handling the verification data, how we store it, and how should explorers pull it, first of all. Then, like the next month, we need to build partnerships with explorers themselves and wallets, and then we will have to do some marketing, just getting people to know how it's an alternative way to see if this smart contract is trustworthy. You can see just the stars this code has there. So, I'm sorry.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And I could just ask as a courtesy, please, while the pitches are ongoing, we only have 2 more left. It is rapid fire. Just a little bit of hush down the back. There's networking areas outside. We understand that's an important part of it as well. We only got 2 more to get through, please. If we could just keep a little bit quiet down the back. Thank you. Joe.
Okay, so pitch number 10 is In Fiction by Kalga Labs. This is Abishar. This project came through the Algo Barrett endeavors again, so well done. In Fiction is a platform for filmmakers and content writers. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Abhisar Srivastav, co-founder and CEO at Kalga Labs. Let me take you into the world of movies through InFiction, a platform for filmmakers and content writers to collaborate in a smarter way. Bollywood, the world's largest film industry, is currently facing massive headwinds. Their success rate has dropped to less than 25%. There's an extreme disconnect between the content and the fast-changing audience palette. In fact, close to 100,000 screenplays remain unread every year. The industry is heavily centralized and is begging for diverse content. To tackle all these pain points, InFiction is building the perfect solution, an app that is secure and simple to use and connects screenwriters, register on our platform, upload their work in the form of NFTs at the click of a button, get access to a 2-tier feedback and evaluation service, eventually leading to our native marketplace showcasing all the top-rated screenplay NFTs. Producers can subscribe to our platform and will be able to search and access both the writers and the screenplay database. Finally, through the marketplace, they can buy and sell the NFTs they like. Our product prototype shown on the screen here is simple and convenient. Upload get professional feedback, engage in the marketplace. It's no secret India produces the maximum number of movies in a year. The size of the industry is $7 billion, with the writing segment amounting to $350 million. At InFiction, we are projecting $6.5 million in the first 3 years of business. Our revenue model largely consists of subscription fees from the producers, various paid services for the writers, and finally, a 10% commission on all NFT sales and writer recruitments through the platform. My co-founder Ridhiman and I have been friends for 19 years now. Both of us are massively interested in the business of filmmaking, and given our backgrounds, we think we have the ideal combination for such a venture. Anjum Rajabali, our industry advisor, is a veteran, multiple award-winning screenwriter and a script advisor at international film festivals like Sundance. The evaluation process is being built under his mentorship, giving us huge credibility in this space. We act as a systematic matchmaker, solving a manpower-intensive problem. Registering screenplays on the blockchain is better for copyright issues. We give industry access to diverse talents from all across the country. And finally, with an expectation of 500,000 transactions in the first phase of our business, getting on board the greenest blockchain, Algorand, is an icing on the cake. At InFiction, we truly believe content is king. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We have a question.
My fiance is in the film industry. She's a producer. One of her biggest concerns is the protection of IP and screenplays that come through the industry. Screenwriters are typically very protective of their works, and so how does your platform guarantee that IP will be protected, or let's say stories won't get read, copied, and then resold?
So the current practice right now in India is a one-on-one meeting that you have with the producer, and the writer and the producer, and they sign NDAs, which are difficult to enforce given the legal structure in India. It takes a lot of time to enforce any of these NDAs if they are violated. But having an established company in the middle on a platform basis gives more protection to the writer, and registering screenplays on the blockchain helps you prove your copyright ownership, and that helps the cause going forward. Violating it on a one-on-one basis becomes more easy compared to having it on a platform basis.
What if I'm a producer, I find a screenplay, I like 75% of it, but I want to change 25%? How do you handle that situation?
That would be the case with mostly all the screenplays that the producers like. Mostly whenever they like a screenplay, they take it into development, and that development phase lasts typically for 3 months. So we have the option of contacting the writer. All of the writers who register on our platform will be issued a digital ID card in the form of an NFT. And as soon as someone buys an NFT of a particular screenplay, they will get an NFT card of the writer as well, who they can contact. So whatever remuneration that the writer is getting for the development of the screenplay into the final product, we charge a 10% commission on that, and of course on the screenplay sale that has happened.
How much have been built so far, and what's the validation on your product?
Yeah, so right now, we incorporated the company in June, and since in the beginning phase, the business is pretty much B2B. We have spent the last 4 months establishing connections within the industry. We have met with top production houses and streaming services like Netflix and Eros and MX Player in India. We have run the product by them. We have gone through multiple iterations. We wanted to open it up to the audience initially, but after taking their feedback, we have restricted the product to screenwriters and producers. So now, since we are happy with the product and the feedback that we have got, we are taking into the development stage.
InFiction, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna give that. Okay, so we are on our final pitch of the day, and can you just give a big round of applause to all the pitchers so far? They've just done a lot of work. We had the semi-final yesterday. We got down to the final 11 today, so there's been a lot of work that got into it. Our final pitcher is JP Miller. He's a director of developer experience at Reach, so he's no stranger to us. We're delighted to have him here today pitching, and his project is Proof of Mushroom, and it's a decentralized carbon exchange. So please give JP a really warm welcome.
Thank you for the introduction. I'd like to introduce you to POM. So, consumers are giving a number of mixed and conflicted messages when it comes to how to reduce their carbon footprint. And then there are questions about who are actually the largest emitters of carbon dioxide. There's questions about large corporations, big agriculture, billionaires, and these mixed messages leave consumers feeling disinformed, disillusioned, and frustrated. POM seeks to cut through the noise with a decentralized carbon exchange marketplace and an IoT device that incentivizes consumers to participate in regenerative economies. So POM is discovering the true costs of carbon. In centralized carbon exchange marketplaces, we found that a ton of carbon dioxide will vary between $100 and $250, whereas it requires to plant 50 trees to offset 1 ton of carbon a year, which costs $25,000. And so there's an extreme arbitrage between what the markets say a ton of carbon is worth and what the economics actually say a ton of carbon costs to offset. So we introduced the POM box, which uses a special fungus that's found in Ecuador that actually biodegrades plastic. And as plastic is biodegraded, we incentivize consumers by rewarding them with carbon tokens. This begins to create a virtuous cycle as plastic is biodegraded, consumers are rewarded with carbon tokens. This begins to raise the value of the carbon token on the decentralized exchange, eventually getting the interest of industry, causing a virtuous cycle to help us find the true cost of carbon. POM belongs on Algorand because we have a common vision of a green future. A green company like POM belongs on a green blockchain technology. This is my wonderful team. Sally Koo is our researcher, Angela Chen, our backend engineer, and Rosa Lee, our full stack developer. POM, together, we are discovering the true cost of carbon through regeneration and restoration.
Fantastic. Thank you, JP. From our judges, hands up. Yep.
Can you further elaborate exactly what you have on screen? So how do I discover the true cost of carbon by having this device in my house?
I'm sorry, there's a little bit of reverb and I'm having trouble catching the words.
How does it work, right? So I had this device in my house. How does that help me discover the true cost of carbon?
Yeah, so like you as the consumer, you would put your plastic in this box and this microspora begins to biodegrade. It actually turns into organic material. It's an IoT device, so it measures the weight difference, which rewards you with the carbon. And you do what you want with the spores. You can eat it or you can put it in the garden. How it helps us find the true cost of carbon is that as consumers collect the tokens, right, it would be a tokenomics that we haven't quite figured out yet, but we would implement tokenomics. And as more of these tokens are created and held, that would increase the value in the exchange. Thank you.
What's the barrier to entry for an average customer getting into this? How much would a box cost?
Yeah, so we plan on selling the box for as cheap as possible, around 29 to 39 USD. Be a barrier entry. We could also imagine a market plan where the box is given away for free or at a loss, and then we're taking a small cut from the tokens that are generated.
Awesome, thank you.
And that is the end of our 11 rapid fire pitches. Turned it all the way up to 11. Thank you very much, JP.
Okay, so that is the end of the Build Developer Greenhouse pitch final at Decipher 2022. Really, I know I keep on saying there was a lot of work that the developers and the projects put in over the year, so please give them another round of applause and woos, please. I wanted to give a big thanks to the judges, Lorenzo from Rocker, We have Michael Hofweller from Accelerator, and we have Asim from Eternix Capital as well. So there's a couple of those accelerators. Eterna just announced their cohort yesterday. Accelerator are going to be doing your closing in January, right? So any startups, take note, look at it. They're open for applications. Okay, so what's going to happen now? The judges are going to tot up. We are going to be announcing who the winner and the runners-up later on today. So that'll be announced on the main stage. Okay, so great. So listen, thank you so much, everyone.